Painting this landscape took a lot longer than anticipated, and instead of trying to fit all the content into one video, I decided to make 3 videos of it. In the previous episode of Becoming a Master Painter, I painted the block-in stage of this landscape, and now I'm actually gonna finish this painting. In the third part, I'm gonna revisit this painting and add some personal elements, but that's for the third part. We're at the second part, so let's start that one now. My painting has dried, the blocking in stage is finished, and now it's time to start adding some details going to the next stage of the painting. Now, on the next day, you may see my paints are still dry from the previous day, so this Stay Wet palette really works well. I'm trying some different things with the trees, because normally my trees turn out really bulky. If you have seen my first video where I talk about I do the painting, they're always a bit illustrative, so I'm trying to get them a bit more realistic, but I think I went a bit overboard and now it's a bit too repetitive, too mechanical. I'm also using some different brushes than I normally would do, and that really helped getting these trees a lot better than before when I just used a round brush. I got these bulky trees, now they're already looking more like trees. So with these mainly fan brushes, I'm able to touch these trees a little bit. Instead of depositing a lot of paint at once, I'm now able to do fine touches here and there, which makes them build up nicely in layers. And that worked pretty well. I'm very happy with how the trees turned out to be, although I will do more work on them. But these rocks, they definitely need more color. Some darker tones, some lighter tones, some variations in it, and really turn them into rocks, because now they're just bulky things, and by adding the detail you get the impression that we do have these rocks. And the nice thing I think about using this kind of paint, the matte acrylics, is that if you make a mistake, if you go too light, too dark, you can just go over it and bring in new tones and different tones, and I really enjoy that. And Andrew, in his paintings, he brings in quite some colors everywhere, continuously mixes new colors and gets variation, and I enjoy doing that. I like that. And here again, also with the grass blades, you can see I'm going a bit overboard initially, and then I'm going to tone it down with different brushes, bring in some color so that to push these very light colors in the background, but still will be as an undertone under these colors, and I enjoy doing that. So I'm a bit experimenting while I'm watching Andrew do things, explaining things, but as said in the first video, I'm missing quite a few things, so this gave me the room to experiment with this painting, because the lesson was more about altering your references and making a different painting. And while he was painting, he explained some things, but the focus wasn't about all these techniques, so I just listened to it. I watched what he was doing, but some things I just feared of, tried brushes and tried off different things. So the water is a thing. I'm doing everything around it, as you can see. I'm trying all kinds of things and work on all these things, but I'm leaving that water for the last stage, because I do find water very challenging, because this water needs some transparent parts more in the back, and in the front it needs this moving water, but still has the impression that it is water. And now I'm finally starting on the water, but I had some problem with the paint, because I'm noticing that there's one color I was missing. Andrew is using not a burnt umber like I'm doing, but a deep burnt umber. And I went through my paints and I actually found a tube of that paint, which will in a minute help me to push these darker tones. And there you see it now. I added some fresh new paint, and the dark umber is among them, and pushing these rocks darker, getting some darker tones and working on that. And Andrew brings in, as I said, a lot of color, but also in this water there are a lot of color nuances, and that really helped me also with this painting to give the impression that there is flowing water, that it's actually a body of water and not some massive plane of one color as most of my waters turned out. So I see already a lot of progress thanks to the lesson, even this lesson by Andrew. and building on those foundations, because they were very important in transparency. And I can see that now, yes, for having put in the effort doing those lessons, I reap the benefits of that. And eventually, as the water turned out, I was pretty happy with it, but it's not where I want it to be, because the clear water still isn't as clear as I would like it to be. So I have to think about that. And once I'm gonna, in the next video, show you the comparison, you will see that Andrew's water is still way better than mine. But taking in account that I have a way too dark underground under it, I think this turned out pretty well. But there's a but with it, yes. I think it's still too illustrative. So at this stage, I'm ready with the painting, but I'm not 100% happy, because this is, I would say, a decent landscape. It's not that bad, but it's not what I envision. It's not realistic enough. It's definitely not what a master painter would make. It's a nice painting, but not what a master painting would make. So I'll still have to push forward and learn a lot more. And in the next video, you will see me actually change some things about this landscape to improve it and get this landscape the best that it can be.